Hi everyone. So make we address some statements being made by some constables who are, saying to me, anytime you buck me, I go just run down for you and just search your vehicle and run up and that. I just want to remind these constables, that Section 5 of the Offensive Weapons Act, Section 5 of the Offensive Weapon Act state expressly that for you, a constable, to have jurisdiction, that means the legal authority under law, to search my person, then you must show your identification. And for those constables who don't believe that they need to show ID, if you don't show your ID to me, if you have reasonable cause to suspect that I have some offensive weapon on me, then you lack jurisdiction and the search would therefore be unlawful. By the way, I'm currently in preparation move for court. Court is coming up the week of June 17th, 2024. So that's what I'm doing now. But I just took the time out to make this video because there's just, a lot of comment in this regard. So I'm just, take the time out to address this issue. While I do have literally 10 huge files having to review for this week, going for the coming week into next week, so it is what it is. And then I have some constables who will say that there's no law that says you, Mr. that I must tell you why I'm searching you or why I'm detaining you. There's no law that say that. But I say to you, that is good. There's no law that say you can search me without, and you don't need to tell me the reason, because the Constitution mandates under the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedom that every person detained or arrested must be told within a reasonable time the reason for their detention or arrest. So if you're going to detain someone on the roadside, or you want to detain them in the police vehicle, or you want to detain them in the station, wherever you want to detain them, a detention is a detention. And the Constitution of Jamaica, under the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedom, Section 14, says that every person detained has a right to know within a reasonable time the reason for their detention. So when you stop someone to search them, and that person asks you as a constables, why you are searching them, you have a duty under the Constitution. There's no law that abridge or infringe on that right to know why. Yes, there's no law. None. Common or written statute. None. So, constables, let us calm down ourselves, man. Let us all work to have a better Jamaica. A Jamaica where Vision 2030, a place where people want to live, grow, raise their families, do business. Yes? Let us operate, and when I say us, I mean constables, you constables, operate within the framework of the law, which has to be within the Constitution. Just stop abusing the power that is given to you. Stop it. Because people like me, whom to write a lawsuit is very simple. And again, constables, viewers and subscribers, when the law says reasonable cause to believe, the Offensive Weapon Act requires the constable to have reasonable cause to believe that someone is carrying an offensive weapon against in their person or on their person or in their conveyance, then constable's reasonable cause to believe means this and nothing else but this. It means that you must have some articulable facts, justifiable facts. You can't just have an hunch and your feelings. You can't just feel like the man have a weapon or feel like this is something going on. It's not about your feelings. It's about justifiable facts. So if you don't have no justifiable facts that the person may or may not have concealed weapons, then you have no jurisdiction to search a person or their conveyance under the Offensive Weapon Act. And remember, a lot of you like to read one statute, and not the others. You like to look at, for example, the current Firearm Prohibition Act and say, but I don't see anywhere where the Firearm Act says I need, to show my ID. But the Firearm Act is not the only law that governs offensive weapons. The Offensive Weapons Act is another law that governs firearms, because a firearm is, by the definition of the Offensive Weapon Act, an offensive weapon. So, and where there's no contradiction between the two, then both laws are operational, and there's no contradiction between the Offensive Weapon Act and the Firearm Act as it relates to the requirement for a constable to show his or her identification, and also to have reasonable cause to suspect or to believe that someone has an offensive weapon in their person or in their conveyance, in other words, their vehicle. Until next time, done under the law. Leave your comments in the comment section, and I will take my time to address them when I do have the time. As I said, this week is a busy week for me, but I will find the time when I find it to address the comments. Until next time.